Hi, I'm Guy Cocker, and I'm here with Mark South, who's the producer for Ferrari Challenge on the PlayStation 3, DS, and Wii. Right, Mark?
That's correct.
That's correct. Okay.
Yeah.
So there hasn't been a Ferrari game for quite a bit. Give us a bit of a background as to why you wanted to bring a new Ferrari game to the market.
And actually, it's funny that you mentioned there hasn't been a Ferrari game in quite a bit, because really what we wanted was to basically do what we would consider like a next-gen version of the 355 Challenge.
Sure.
You know, and it is a classic game, and we all love it, and we all play it, and it's really just to pay a homage to that game and to do something that, you know, was representative and would leave people with the same feeling, you know, 10 years from now, that we'd make a game and people would say, hey, you know, this was the benchmark for Ferrari, you know, we want to try to do that again. And that's how it initially started. When we joined on with System 3, and of course Mark Hill has a system, his team also participates in the Challenge series, and that's a pretty big event. You know, Mark Hill, you know, he has a love of Ferraris, and System 3 it's very much involved in the Ferrari Challenge races. And when he came to us, we talked about it. We've had this technology we've been working on PS3, like our PS3 engine, for over 4 years now. So we didn't have a good project that we could put it in, you know, to show people really what it was all about. And when we came together with the opportunity to work with Mark, to work with System 3, and to work with Ferrari too, it was a big opportunity, because it's this thing where like a lot of game companies will, you know, or publishers will license Ferrari for use in their game. But this time we've actually worked with Ferrari. You've seen, you know, we've had Bruno Senna. We've worked intensively with them to get the car setups right, to get all the reference we've needed, to get access to their tracks so we can test out, you know, like all our vehicle setups, and really it's been tremendous, their support, you know, in getting that running, and it basically gave us all the tools we need to develop a game that was, you know, that was true to what we wanted to be, you know, like distance tracks in the game that they use in the Challenge series. In Europe and North America, and that was a lot of photo recon to get that, you know, looking right. We're using many different Ferraris in the game, and to find some of these cars was difficult to find, because there's not too many of some of them.
Sure.
And to get all the photos we needed for that, and to get all the engine recordings, it was, you know, we wanted to. We knew what we were making in the beginning. We weren't going to make this, you know, it's this massive game from the start that with like different kinds of cars, different brands. We knew we were making a Ferrari game, and we just wanted to bring that experience true to, you know, over to the game.
So I mean, there is a huge amount of cars. You're trying to get all the Ferraris that have been made since 1947 onwards, right? Yeah. But they're not going to be all available from the start, are they? You're going to start off with a simple, was it F350?
Yeah, there's initially the game will come with 22 cars, and they're spread out across GT cars, GTC cars, and historic cars, and of course the challenge cars that are here. And that's the initial launch with, and every month we're going to release a pack of about 4 to 5 cars until we really get to the whole collection.
Right. Okay.
But that's the plan.
And they're going to be downloadable content. It's going to be like issued every month. Is that the plan?
Yes, it's every month. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're also going to do a new track as well. We're trying to get we're trying to aim for one. I think it's about once a month in the same frequency. Where like when the game launches, we'll have Monaco available for download, which is not. It's kind of cool because it's not part of the Challenge series.
Sure.
But it's a really nice circuit.
Yeah, it's a well-known circuit.
Yeah, so I think that's big for us to have in there as well. We're happy to get that in.
Excellent. Okay. So I mean, what else can people expect? So you can expect around sort of 6 European tracks and 7 US ones?
6 European. Oh, I'm sorry, 7 European tracks. The 7th one is the Fiorano test track. We're using that for the tutorial of the game. Okay. And then there's the North American tracks as well. Like it's the proper challenge races. So.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah. And there's going to be 16-player online.
16-player online as well.
On PlayStation 3.
Yeah, on PlayStation 3, and you can also enter it as teams as well too.
Okay.
One of the features that's cool in our what we call virtual garage is it allows you to design, like you can put liveries and logos and stuff on your car and set it up the way you'd like, and you can enable one of your friends to actually download it.
Right.
So they can download it and take that car online into the races, so they can go on and then you can race against, and you all have the same type of car. So so it's a pretty cool feature. It's it's a nice thing to have, and you can pack race, and it's I think it adds a different element to the game.
Okay, so that's kind of the PlayStation 3 version. How's the Wii version going to differ from that? I mean, obviously it's probably not going to be as graphically impressive, but you have got the Wiimote that you can attach your steering wheel to.
We've worked quite a bit with the Wiimote to get it to. Sounds kind of funny. We've worked with the Wiimote to get it to to get it to a point where we were really happy with it. And just getting our dead zones right, and just getting it, feeling like as close as we could to a steering wheel. Mind you, there's no feedback. You do have some vibration you can play with, so you kind of know when you're in oversteer or understeer. So you do get a little bit of sensation. But ultimately, I think the big thing is what we wanted was to make a racing game on Wii. The analog controls are pretty good. We've had a lot of success with that, and to be honest, like it's actually looking really good too. Okay. I think it impressed all of us when we saw how much graphics we could push push onto the machine and still keep our physics model running at the right speed as well.
Yeah, okay. And the DS version finally is coming out. They're all coming out in November, aren't they?
Yeah.
And so the DS version is going to have the same amount of tracks, but it's going to differ slightly, I guess, in the control stacks.
I'm not actually sure about what the final track specification is for the DS. It's actually it's another developer that's doing the DS version. But we have worked even with the DS guys. We worked together as development teams, just kind of talk about what we're going to do, like just sharing assets where we have them, and just kind of keeping them in the same style with each other. And I think that's pretty good too, because and it actually is on DS it looks good. I think it races very well, and it's going to be a promising title for DS.
Okay. And you mentioned briefly before Bruno Senna, who's the Formula 2 driver, has been working quite heavily in developing the game and just making sure that everything is kind of as realistic as possible and tuning it as much as he can. Has he kind of been going through a lot of the famous Ferraris and just racing them around, giving you feedback?
Yeah, I mean, Bruno actually he works quite a bit on each car to set it up right. We do an initial setup to get it in game and apply some basic vehicle physics to it, so it's staying on the road and it's doing what you want. And beyond that, we work it up with him based on the technical manuals, and we get it basically working the way you'd expect it to by specification, and then of course to play it to make sure it fits in with that specification.
Right, okay.
And that's been a big part. He spent many hours in the office with us just getting all those cars set up right, and it always is ongoing.
Sure.
With all the new cars we're adding as well too.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Thanks a lot, Mark.
Cool.
So the game's out on DS, Wii, and PlayStation 3 on November the
23rd
in Europe. And then Q1 2008 for America.
For America, yeah.
And is it Japan as well? Is that?
I'm not actually sure what's happening with the Japanese release. I would suspect it would be around the same time, but it's it's very published that decision that is right. Yeah.
But European first.
Yeah, so I know it's nice.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. European first. Cool.
All right, that's great.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.